According to U.S. Congressman Greg Kilili-Sablan, the Department of Justice is willing to assist the CNMI in extraditing former Attorney General Ed Buckingham, who's now a fugitive of justice, if the CNMI's new AG requests it. We get reactions from both the AG and the Office of the Public Auditor. Attorney General J.P. St. Nicholas declines to say one way or another how he intends to act with respect to extradition.
At this point, I'm not at liberty to state with specificity what exactly I'm doing with respect to the extradition or possible extradition of the former Attorney General. And please pardon me for that, because these are matters that I think must be taken care of within the office and even outside of the office. And of course, any development you would be advised. But at this point in time, I've accepted the letter from Congressman Kilili. I have communicated with Mr. Kilili in the past, and I appreciate his letter, and I appreciate his support of our office. You know, in the same breath, I'm asking Mr. Kilili to support our office.
On the other hand, St. Nicholas does say this.
The issue of Mr. Buckingham's extradition is at the top of my list, of my priority list. I do agree with Mr. Sablan that the extradition of Mr. Buckingham to the Commonwealth would improve or would strengthen the trust that the people have in our office. And that is a concern that I had from the very beginning. And he actually cited it in his own letter. I agree with him 100%.
We also asked St. Nicholas with whom he's been discussing Buckingham's potential extradition. Okay. Have you been in communication with either Mr. Buckingham or with the governor or acting governor on this matter?
With Mr. Buckingham, no. With the governor, no.
What about the acting governor?
Well, he is the acting governor. I am in communication with the acting governor on a host of issues, and at this point, I'd rather not get into those issues.
In a phone interview, OPA Special Prosecutor George Hasselback, for his part, says he was surprised to learn about Sablan's efforts to reach out to the AG's office and the Department of Justice. Although OPA is the agency bringing the charges, according to Hasselback, no one in that office has been part of the discussion.
I appreciate and welcome Congressman Sablan's help on any of this. Certainly invoking federal agencies to assist you with something isn't hurt by having a congressman involved. Now, I haven't had any specific conversations with anybody at the AG's office regarding Mr. Buckingham's case and their involvement in it up to this point.
Hasselback also notes that the entire AG's office may be conflicted out from any involvement in the case at all.
I think people should keep in mind that at one point in time, the Attorney General's office did represent Mr. Buckingham in this case. And generally speaking, if you represent someone in a particular matter, you're then prohibited from representing somebody that is adverse to that person in that particular matter. I mean, that's the most clear-cut form of conflict that attorneys learn about in law school.
Asked if having a new AG in office makes any difference, Hasselback acknowledges the issue hasn't been litigated yet, but he also says this.
Generally speaking, matters of conflict are imputed to offices. So, using a hypothetical example, if you work for a law firm or an office, and one lawyer in that office represents someone, unless certain steps are taken to, the term is wall off, the emerging term is firewall. Unless steps are taken to firewall off other members of that office, the conflict is imputed to all members of the office.
KSPN asked St. Nicholas to comment on whether he thought his office might be conflicted out.
I'll just say this. I mean, that's a valid concern, and that's something that we'll have to look at.
Acting Governor Inos says there may be some issues regarding the extradition of former Attorney General Ed Buckingham.
The only thing that I'm aware of that is holding any further movement on this thing is the cost. So we're trying to sit down and sharpen our pencils and see how much will it cost, and see if we have the resources to do it, and we'll go from there. I'm sure that the legal structure is there. I'm sure that the primary concern, if any, would be the costs associated with the extradition.